All right, we're live. What is going on, man? What a day. My emails and everything have been blowing up with people asking about this Will Smith slap, which we will talk about before I get into the main topic on this male birth control. I can cover a whole bunch of stuff tonight, and we'll be taking some call-ins as well. Let me do a little housekeeping here. If you guys are watching somewhere else live, do me a solid and come over to the YouTubes for the algorithms. Just going to drop that link there. I will also drop the Q&A link only on YouTube and pin it to the top. So if you have a question on tonight's topic or anything you guys think I can be useful on, you can call on in and ask that question. What's going on? I got some wicked shit going on over the next couple of weeks. I have an awesome guest on April 14th. Talked to one of the cast members of the Love is Blind show and got him booked for a Playing to Win podcast. Should be a fun one. So keep an eye open for that. I have an awesome guest on Thursday. You will not have heard from him, but you're definitely going to want to watch this Thursday's Playing to Win. Steve Sims is something else. Bricklayer from England that you want to go down to the Titanic, you can make it happen. This guy's kind of like a fixer. So check that out later on this week. So got some awesome stuff coming. Also, my course should be launching very soon. All the material is recorded and I'm just doing the final edits. I'm about 75% done. So you're going to want to get on my email list to make sure that you get first notification for that. That's a course on an entrepreneur's mindset. It's gonna knock it out of the park. It's gonna kick ass, man. I just love the stuff that's in that. Let's talk about this Will Smith thing. So let me grab the clip here. Watch the uncensored. Number one on trending on YouTube. How about that? Number one on trending. I'm not surprised. People just love the red meat. Red meat. All right. So let me get some volume here. It's a minute 23. Before I hit the play on this, I'm sure most of you guys know what this is. I'm really just going to be adding some thoughts on it. I mean, dude's hurting. Dude is like, he's hurting. He that slap was meant for Jada Pinkett or August or a combination of both. He's still pissed off. I mean, he shouldn't have done that. Chris Rock took it in stride. He, Chris Rock can take a slap, but Will Smith can't take a joke. In fact, it's kind of funny. You're going to see in a sec. Will Smith was laughing at the joke when Rock told it. And then I think the camera cut away. You'll see it in a second. That's when he must have got a stern look from Jada. And then he went up to the stage to have his little download with him over here. So let's hit play on this and see what we got. I'm going to have to speed this up and pause it at least once just for, issues with infringements and blah, blah, blah. But here we go.
You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win.
I don't even know this
Will Smith.
Javier guy. Anyway, so this is a joke on Jada Pinkett. She's got a condition. I think it's alopecia or something like that. Either way, she's losing more hair than what she should. So she's just shaving her head. I guess it happens to women. It's not male pattern baldness. It's a different kind of hair loss, but she's been shaving her head. So he made a joke about G.I. Jane, which is, I don't know if it's a new movie coming up, but who was in the first one? Demi Moore was in the first one, and she had to shave her head for it.
It's like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Okay. Jada Pinkett Smith has a very unhappy look on her face. Will Smith, let's just slow this down, is laughing his ass off. Check this little segment out. Look, he's laughing. She ain't happy. Now, the camera cuts from here, and the next thing you see is Smith walking up on stage.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh.
Now, some people have said, oh, that's fake. It was staged. They're not getting enough views, so they had to manufacture this drama to get more views on it. And look, maybe you believe it, maybe you don't. This looks real enough to me. I mean, Will Smith's been hurting. Did you guys see the entanglement video? If you haven't seen it, you can look it up on YouTube. It's out there. There's a video of Will and Jada sitting at, I think, a red table, and she's basically talking about an entanglement, which ended up her essentially banging their son's friend, August. I don't know what the age difference was, but he's quite a bit younger, obviously, than Will Smith. And she spent some time with him. There's some public photographs of her and August at some events. She's a garden tool. You know, she's a 304. You can call her whatever, you know, it is. But dude should have left her then. That slap wasn't meant for Chris Rock. I'm sure that they're boys. I'm sure they've had some good times together. But the fact that it happened publicly, and it looks like they're sitting in the front row, and Jada had that disturbed look on her face when Will was done laughing at the joke, obviously. That's when he came up on stage and did this.
Wow. Wow.
Now, he walks off the stage with some swagger. I mean, it's kind of funny, but anyway.
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Okay, so now to add insult to injury, not only can Will Smith not keep his cool, but now he starts yelling at Rock across the stage, telling him, well, you can hear it. It's loud enough that the mic picks it up.
Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm good.
That's a beta. Dude, like, he plays alpha roles in films and movies, but in real life, dude is as plugged in as they come. He's not in a good place. Like, dude needs something.
Going to, okay?
You should have got rid of that woman.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
So anyway, that's what went down. It's the whole drama thing around it. Now, I want to talk about this male birth control situation in a moment. I've got my pages up over here. We're good to go. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Moff saying, yeah, he's so hurt. Here, let me change the banner. That's not popping up where I want it to be. I think we want classic style. There we go. That's better. Okay, so never split the difference from Chris Voss. How much is gold and how much is blue pill? I'm not sure what that has to do with the cast we're talking about here. Complete B move by Will Smith. Yeah, like I said, that wasn't intended for Chris Rock. That slap was intended for a combination of August and Jada. He can't do it though, so he takes it out on his boy Rock. It's typically what ends up happening, you know. I've seen lots of photographs and videos over the years of Will Smith and Chris Rock hanging out, so it's not like they don't know each other well. They do. It's just if you can't control your emotions, life lesson you got to learn, guys. If you cannot control your emotions in adversarial type of conditions or in environments, especially at something like an Oscars award in front of the entire, like, the world is watching. The world is watching, and he thought it was a good idea to walk up there and bitch slap the shit out of Chris Rock. Dude took it. Anyway, that's what happens when you're hurting, man. Guys do irrational things. Yeah, I mean, hey, Will Smith, you need help? Give me a call, bro. I'll hook you up. I'll straighten you out. I'll plug your ass from the stupid lies that you believe in life. Why you're still dealing with that woman is beyond me, man. Don't know. All right, let's talk about male birth control, because I didn't want to make the show about slapping. I've seen a lot of stuff that's popped by my way in the last couple of years on male contraception. And it's interesting because there's only really two forms of male contraception for men. We've got condoms and we've got vasectomies, arguably the pull-out method as well. For women, some say there's 30 methods. I've heard a dozen. There's more than 10 for sure. There's way more than 10. Between all the female hormonal contraceptives, the pills, the IUDs, the copper IUD, the hormonal IUD, the sponges, the rings, the female condoms, they've got all these different methods. And now they're talking about throwing these options out there at guys, and at glance, it seems like a great idea. I mean, like, what guy, especially when we talk about in the red flag chapter to be in control of birth and not trust that she's on birth control, because we've seen women forget. We've also seen women lie about being on birth control and guys being on the hook. I mean, we know that when the sperm leaves your nutsack, you have no decision-making capacity whatsoever. Whatever she says goes. And if she says, I need you to pay for the next 20 years for this, you're on the hook, whether you want it or not. So the concept's a great idea. I think a lot of guys would welcome it, given the fact that you only really have 3 choices right now, all of which aren't particularly great in any regard. I hear a lot of guys will say, "Oh, just get a vasectomy, this, that, and the other thing." And I've talked to a few of my friends that have had them, and while they won't generally publicly admit that, it feels different, it does. A lot of guys are just like, yeah, it's not the same, but yeah, it's effective. Some say it's reversible. Some say, it doesn't really work out that way. There's also some studies that suggest that vasectomies have some consequences later on down the road, with other health concerns for guys. So yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want male contraceptive that's safe and effective beyond condoms, vasectomies, or just pulling out? So this is what we have today. We have essentially 2 pill options and an injection option, which I'm going to share with you. So let's talk about I'll save the injection option for last, because that involves injecting into your nutsack, which, I mean, like, you guys tell me in the comments when I get to that. But hormonal for guys versus what's essentially a vitamin A compound, right? Let me throw this up here on the screen. So should we talk hormonal first? Let's deal with the hormonal part. So share screen window here. I don't know why these freaking sites have to do this, where they have these giant banners all the time. Let's see if I can zoom in and push it out of the way. Doesn't really work. Anyway, so this is a couple here that participated in the hormonal study, and it's essentially a progestin and testosterone combo. In this case, it was a cream. You can see this nerd over here has this bottle in his hand, and what he had to do for the trial was, I don't know if he squirts it in his hand or if he just squirts it on his chest, but he basically squirted it from his chest across to his shoulder. You have to let it absorb in after the shower, and then you can put on your clothes and proceed with your day. Now, it's not as simple as that. There's some residue that's left on your skin. So apparently you can't actually get intimate unless you have a shower before you do so. Otherwise, the hormones will come off your skin onto hers, and it can absorb into her body. And she's essentially taking the same drugs that you are. So there's some delivery issues with it. It doesn't seem like they do it in pill form, because it's a progestin, which is essentially what women take for birth control, by the way. It's what'll castrate men. And then they have to top it up with testosterone. And anybody that knows anything about testosterone and anabolics knows that if you take a pill that has testosterone in it, it has to pass through your liver, and there's some level of toxicity to your organs, more so to your liver. So you don't want that, especially on a long-term basis. I mean, you can't be taking a pill that's slowly dissolving your liver, right? So they make it in a cream format, it seems, or like a gel format. It's probably compounded. You spread it on your chest and your shoulders. You wait till it absorbs, and that's basically it. The problem with it, though, is it has a 10% response rate that doesn't work out. Reversible. Sounds so simple. Hormonal contraceptive. Where's the bit on his feedback on it? Okay, so for side effects, Ed, who was a participant, says, I do occasionally get hot flashes and night sweats. That doesn't sound like a good thing. And he's gained 7 pounds. That's what you're going to get with progestin. You're going to get a little bloated. You're going to put on some weight, and you're going to have some issues with that. The testosterone is designed to counter that, because it shuts down your body's production, so your nutsack doesn't make sperm, and then the testosterone needs to. It's basically TRT. It's basically testosterone therapy with some significant downsides. As for emotional fragility, Ed has taken to his mood changes like a duck to water. Anyway, so it doesn't seem like it was that great of a deal. Some of the side effects, which I actually mentioned in the chapter in my book when it came to a male birth control pill, is it essentially castrates guys and it turns them into soy boys. Now, if they don't get the ratio right with the progesterone and the testosterone, a lot of the guys in the studies had experienced, not a lot, but a fair significant portion of the guys in the studies suffered some side effects, which included lack of libido, lack of sex drive, erection quality, lack of interest in sex. Which, like, what's the point in taking a male contraceptive if you can't still enjoy it, right? Like, what's the point? So that really hasn't been working out that well. I found a video, which I should throw up in the screen, actually. Stop screen. We'll close that one. Let me grab this here. So this is a video, and this dude I like. He's really good at distilling concepts when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm going to save you the 24-minute video. Derek from More Plates, More Dates basically sums it up over here. Just listen to this bit.
In general, I don't think it's a good idea personally. Like, you're basically putting yourself on TRT to use the progestin. You know, that's exactly what you're doing. So if you don't want to be on TRT, like, don't use it again.
So, sum it up, says it's a stupid idea. From what I've seen with the studies that I've read in the different articles, it's not reasonable. So, I mean, you want to take that and turn it into a soy boy? Have fun with it. There's another option with a non-hormonal component, which basically is designed to block vitamin A in your nutsack. And I've queued up a video here that I found on TED Talks, where this dude is talking about how a male contraceptive pill could work. So it should be queued up. Let's just play this. And here we go. Like, just playback speed a little faster. Boom.
To block the function of vitamin A in the testis.
Let me back it up a tiny bit here because it queued up the wrong spot.
Involve the administration of hormones. Specifically, we are looking to block the function of vitamin A in the testis. Why? Well, for over 90 years, it's been known that you need vitamin A to make sperm. Animals who are deprived of vitamin A in their diet stop making sperm and restart making sperm again when the vitamin.
So this is not hormonal. This is designed to block an enzyme that basically tells your nutsack to make sperm. And if the medical community can trick the hormonal cycle to not recognize in vitamin A in the nutsack, then your nutsack doesn't make sperm. Seems like a good idea, but just listen to this bit here.
Vitamin A is reintroduced. The vitamin A that we ingest is converted by a family of enzymes to something called retinoic acid. One of these enzymes is found only in the testis. It's this enzyme that we are attempting to block. Blockade of this enzyme should deprive the testis of retinoic acid and stop sperm production without affecting vitamin A's functions elsewhere.
So they're saying that it should stop sperm production without affecting vitamin A in the rest of your body. You need vitamin A for normal functions. I mean, if they can't get this right and you've got issues with your organs using vitamin A, your skin, your brain, and all that sort of stuff, you could run into some serious issues. Now, I would imagine they wouldn't put it out if there was some downstream effects there. But this idea is far better than the hormonal option. And it looks like, from what I gathered, there was a whole bunch of articles that were put out in the last 3 days talking about studies moving from animals to humans now. So you may have a male non-hormonal birth control pill that you can use in the coming years. The other option, which is just, I don't know who would go for this one. Let me take this out of stream. And let's see here. Scientists are boom, boom, boom. Here we go. So let me share the screen. I've got a little bit more information on this one. So this proposed contraceptive, let me just zoom this in a little bit more so you guys can see it. The proposed contraceptive is a product of researchers at the University of Minnesota. It says it works by targeting how our bodies interact with vitamin A, known as the essential in fertility in mammals. Diets deficient in vitamin A have been linked to sterility. For instance, after a lengthy search, they found an experimental compound that blocks a protein responsible for binding to a form of vitamin A in our cells, known as retinoic acid receptor alpha, RARA. That's a cool name, RARA. Anyway, receptor blocking. Okay, so this is another follow-up article to that. The other one, which is the injectable gel, and this is this company over here. It's called Contraline. What if a male contraceptive gave you peace of mind? So let me pull this out of the screen so I can get a visual of what the Vas Deferens is, where it is, so you guys understand. Vas Deferens. Remember this from sex ed in school. The Vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from to behind the bladder. Wow. Okay. So it's a long ass tube that goes from your nutsack and connects to where you deliver, the good stuff, the boys, right? For a visual, let me put it up on the screen here. That's a long tube. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they would have to essentially inject. This is the medical company here talking about. It's called Atom trademark. They've trademarked the word atom for this. The Vas deferens is a pair of tubes that transport sperm atom. Is a hydrogel that is inserted inside through a quick injection. Now, I don't know about you, but you couldn't pay me enough money to go to a doctor. I don't know what the injection frequency would be. 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. I can't see a dam lasting that long. I mean, it's essentially they're damming the tube, right? And they're going to have to put a needle through your nutsack. I mean, I would assume with local anesthetic, but still a needle through your nutsack into a tube to basically clog it up with this atom gel. Would you guys, there it is right there. So there's a visual representation. So it's effective 99.99 whatever percent at creating a barrier to stop the sperm from reaching where it needs to go. But those are your options, guys. I mean, if you don't want to deal, I mean, this is basically a chemical vasectomy, only temporary, that you have to continue to get injections on. Condoms are pulling out. Those are your options. Women have 10, 20, 30 options. I don't know. They've got a whole bunch more, but those are your options. Would you guys do it? It ain't for me, dude. I'm not going to a doctor to stick a pin in my nutsack every few months. It just doesn't add up. Set it and forget it. Non-hormonal, quick, easy checkup. That is not a quick, easy checkup. You're going to have to go in. They're going to shave your nutsack. You're going to have to local anesthetic, clean it up, inject. You're going to have to deal with icing it. You probably got a day of soreness and pain after that. I can't see that being quick and easy. Set it and forget it for how long? The gel is designed to last at least a year. Wow. You're going to go in there once a year. Okay. Does not affect hormones. Procedure is simple and quick. The gel may be imaged in a monitor with an ultrasound, so should be effective. Okay, so it's a once a year injection. Here's Brad from Boston. Brad says, my wife, Lisa, has been taking the pill for 12 years and hates it. I've looked for alternative, but nothing appealing exists. I'd like something that's reliable and feels natural. Lisa, 27, also from Boston, says, Brad and I want to start a family, but we're not ready yet. We'd like a temporary solution, but I'm tired of the hormones. I'm excited about the promise of a new male contraceptive. Well, Brad, go on in and get your nutsack gelled up. Anyway, would you guys do it? Ain't for me. Let me grab the join link. You guys can hop in. We'll do some Q&A. Let's set this up and get the show on the road. Gotta stand up. Here, let's do a little poll while I get this join link over here. Right? Let's get the join link, invite, copy. So if you guys are watching elsewhere, head on over to YouTube and it'll be pinned up there. And ask a question live. You can also super chat. I can put questions there as well. Boom, boom, boom. Pin message. Okay, that's pinned at the top. Let's do a quick little poll too. We can do those live on YouTube. And these are all available on podcasts for you guys too. So if you'd like to listen and drive or whatever, you can grab these from Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, or everywhere now. Would you pin your sack a year for a temporary, basically a temporary vasectomy? Find out what the viewers say. And for those of you guys listening to the replay, I'll just read it out so you don't miss out on anything. Oh, for crying out loud. Copy. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And ask your community. All right, that poll's live. Again, the link is pinned at the top. You can join and ask a question live on tonight's show. Looks like we got a good hour to take some Q&A stuff. So get in early. When you get in late, you don't get a chance to hop in. That's what everybody does. They always show up late, right at the end, where we have like a dozen people waiting to get in and we're full. Health class is in session. Get the rubbers and bananas, kids, says Chris. All right, let's take a minute and pay some bills. Just take a quick look at this 3-minute ad insert. And it just helps me out. Thanks. This episode is brought to you by the Unplugged Alpha Supplement Line, Grondike Soap Company, and Chad's Face Scrub. Brothers, if you're like me and you take what you put in your body seriously, you'll want to use the Unplugged Alpha Supplement Line. An obsession with absorption is what sets this line apart from the others. You want to make sure you absorb as much of the supplements as possible so you don't end up peeing out expensive urine. My supplement line is made in the United States from the highest quality domestic ingredients, and unlike cheap supplements from China and plastic bottles, mine ship in dark glass bottles to keep your supplements fresher, longer, and won't seep endocrine-disrupting plastics into your supplements. Nothing is a hard tablet. Everything is an easily digested, bioavailable capsule. You can filter all products by their various categories, including testosterone support, estrogen metabolism, fat burning, immune health, sleep support, and performance. Visit theunpluggedalpha.com/shop and use the subscribe and save option to get 10% off your supplement orders, or just use coupon code ALPHA10 for 10% off a one-time order to try it out. Men, I use Tactical Soap and God of War beard oil every day. Tactical Soap is a handmade product made in the United States from ingredients you can actually pronounce, not conventional endocrine-lowering toiletry chemicals. Both the soap and beard oils are infused with bioidentical pheromones that are designed by a clinical psychologist and pheromone expert to maximize attractiveness to the opposite sex. Visit coopersoap.com and get 10% off your order today. Gentlemen, my go-to face scrub to keep this manly face clean and clear is Chad's. Again, it's incredibly important to me to only use products with all natural ingredients without nasty chemicals that disrupt male hormone levels or convert to estrogen in your body. And unlike watery scrubs that slip between your fingers, this thick face scrub with black lava sand gives you powerful results in one go. Visit getchads.com and you'll be redirected to the Amazon store. You'll get 10% off when you use coupon code GETCHATS10. You can find all the links I've just mentioned pinned below in the top YouTube comment. If you want to learn more about why I endorse these natural products to my audience, search on my YouTube channel for an episode I did with Dr. Anthony J titled Playing to Win number 21, How Estrogenics Make You Fat, Sick, and Infertile with Dr. Anthony J. Let's get on with the show. All right, we're back. Let's see what the poll's saying right now. Looks like 82% say no to pinning their nutsack once a year. Yeah, it's just not appealing, man. I think that if they can get that that pill with the enzyme that blocks vitamin A, that might be the winning ticket, and that would significantly change things for dudes. That would be a useful piece. All right, we got a bunch of guys here piling in, waiting to ask some questions. If you guys want to call in on the show and chop it up with me live, the link is pinned at the top of the YouTube channel. So you're going to have to head over to YouTube and just click it. It's just running below the poll. It says join in and ask a question live. All right, who we got here? We got Adam in the house, Ryan, JS, CG. Adam, let's pull you in first. Let's see what you got here. All right, what do you got for me tonight, bro?
Hey, can you hear me?
Clear. How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you, Rich. Thanks for having me on. I've recently came across your content. It's only been a few weeks now. And one of the main things I'm focusing on is trying to be self-aware of the content and the things I'm seeing out there that could kind of align with the female imperative and kind of the beta-tization of males through content. And one of my favorite things of music is country music, and I've been listening to it for years. And I'm wondering if even like that type of music, which I just started to realize after seeing your content and seeing others, has a lot of themes that kind of go towards that beta mindset, like when I get and all the exception. But it's
that's one of the problems when you unplug is you never look at music the same.
Yeah, I don't know if I like should stop listening, because it's like even if I casually listen, if like unknowingly it's influencing me, because I'm a believer. Look, what I listen to.
Yeah. So I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I'm the same with music. Like, I'll sometimes hear songs, or I hear an old song that I used to enjoy. Like, I've got I picked up basically a music subscription. It works with my Android Auto in the car. I plug it in. I have a playlist, and if I go to something like hair band metal or like heavy metal, every single song that ever mentions a woman is all about simping. It's all about being a plugged-in beta. And these guys got laid, man. They use it to get the girls. Like, they did all these tours and they got loads of girls. I think Gene Simmons has publicly stated he's probably got a notch count around 3,000 or 5,000. It's huge, right? So that's why they did it. But you just have to kind of enjoy the music for what it is. So if it's plugged into, worship her, love her, send her flowers, every rose has a thorn, blah, 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 and all sort of stuff. It's like, dude, just enjoy it for what it is, but know that that's what it is. It's like, same thing with women, right? A lot of guys just go like full dark mode. It's like, oh, dude, she's never going to love you for who you are. She's just going to monkey branch the next dude. It's like, okay, I understand, the same facts too. If I get lazy, if I don't chase excellence, if I get fat, if I go broke, whatever, chances are she's going to bounce on me too. So don't do that, right? You have to just understand that. So part of unplugging is just accepting things too. Like, you have to come to an acceptance. See what I'm saying?
Okay, so just be self-aware and listen, because it's just been crazy since going through that content. And I read Rollo's book first before coming onto your channel. That I'm just seeing it all over now, and it's almost like a little bit overwhelming. Because
it will be at first, but I mean, you'll get used to it. I mean, you will see the code in the matrix everywhere. It's not just dealing with women. The problem with the mano swamp is that's all it focuses on, right? But you can look at finance, cryptocurrency. You can look at life, business, making money. You can look at dealing in sports and business transactions. I can turn on the TV and sit back and be like, all right, I'm going to zone out to like a movie, and I'll turn on something, and it's like 10 minutes in, I'm like, this is some bullshit, right? It's like, I'm not going to watch this one. But I mean, sometimes, there's stuff that I want to go enjoy. Like, I'll watch the new Top Gun, when it comes out, right?
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
Yeah, all right, man. Thanks. Yeah. And guys, if you want to get into some like music that's like not plugged in beta shit, there's music out there. I mean, I know that people have genres like, I like country, or I like metal, or I like rap. It's like, explore other music genres and enjoy them, right? Like, I listen to everything. Like, I'll listen to, like, some days I'll listen to NWA. Other days I'm listening to Warrant. Next day I'm listening to some Sepultura, maybe Pantera the next day. Depends what I'm feeling. Just get into what is it you dig? R&B, hip hop, trance, EDM type music. Just find something that you like. Steel Panther. Yeah. Kick ass, bro. Right on. Let's see what we got here in a private chat. Who else is in the house? Dealing with free riders, avoiding them, and cutting them off, says Brian. All right, we got a freeloader question. All right, what do you got for me, bro? You got freeloaders in your life? You're muted.
There we go.
There you go.
Not anymore. I'm pretty successful at cutting off dead growth now in my life. Actually, I'd like to say a special thanks to you. I came across your content right after I was going through divorce. Came out of the hospital for having cancer removed, and that's when, you know, she lost her shit, and excuse my language. She lost it, and I was in Madrid, Spain. I had to call the cops to get out of the house. It was amazing. And
she left you when you had cancer?
Oh yeah, no, I got out of the hospital. The day I got out of the hospital, having it removed from the base of my skull, she started she was going to try to mess me up physically. You know, I had neck collar on, all this stuff, and it was a bad deal, man. And you talk about how you can get run through the ringer on a divorce. Try doing that stuff in Madrid, Spain, man, and those liberal countries like that.
Was she a Spanish lady? Like she was domestic, or did you bring her from the States?
No. I met her when I was in the military in Spain.
Oh, okay. All right. So, so you're past that now.
Yeah, past that.
Crazy Latin woman's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So where you at today?
Special thanks to you on that. You know, I've used your content and got your book, and all that stuff has been very useful to me. And this is a question I've kind of hashed it out and answered it myself. The answer is really kind of simple: is if you surround yourself with people that are at your level or better, then you're probably not going to have to worry about them trying to freeload off of you. But generally, I'm a pretty generous person. I do pretty well for myself. I've got a good job, and I don't mind spreading my money around, you know. But I've had issues with people taking that generosity as weakness, and then, you know, you got to cut somebody out of your life, and that's not necessarily fun either.
So you're having a hard time saying goodbye to people, or?
Not so much. I just wonder if there might be a better way to do it than ghost.
Not inviting them in your life to begin with.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right. I mean, you know, there's an old saying that, like, when's the best time to fire somebody when it comes to an employer, considering the idea of getting rid of a problem employing the company? The answer to the question is the very moment that you realize that they're a problem. The thing being, though, is that human beings are way too forgiving. And it's like, I'll give them another chance. I'll try to change them or improve their lives or coach them or whatever. And it's like, at some point, as a guy, you get to the point where it's like, I'm not going to play Captain Save insert whatever. It's not just Captain Save a hoe. It's like Captain Save the employee, or Captain Save this dude, or the friend of mine from high school, or whatever it happens to be. Like, just don't invite them in your life to begin with if you know their problem. It's hard to do. Right. But you're going to leave people behind as you do it. And you have to be okay with that. Right. I've walked away from groups, people, my entire life. I do it all the fucking time. Right. I mean, if you've watched my channel for the last 7 or 8 years, you've seen me do it at least once. Right. You have to be okay with walking away from shit.
Yeah. And that's kind of the conclusion that I'd come to myself on this. But I figured, you know, it'd be a good question to roll in with, and maybe spread that knowledge among others here too.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as you figure out that you're the smartest guy in the room, get the hell out of the room.
I agree. Okay.
All right, Brian.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
It's not a difficult thing to do, but it can be hard for people. It seems like a simple task many times. We got Coach Kareem, Red Pill Arabic. What's up, brother?
Hey, bro.
Like
how you doing?
Like
all is good?
You're all right? Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. On this topic, like, I'm really sad when I see young people trying to do such things to themselves, because they're scared a lot
birth control
of the consequences. Yeah. Okay. There is much as I mentioned in the chat. There is much better ways and less risky ways. You just need to understand biology, because you have to understand how the ovaries work. There is just three days in each month that the probability that she will get pregnant is very high, and the window of perception actually is just 6 hours. So if you're with a woman, you need to know where is her period start and end, and after 14 days exactly, her temperature by Celsius temperature will rise around half degree. She will get something like a small or tiny fever.
Mhm.
This is where the egg will be ready to be fertilized, and it lasts for only 6 hours. So,
So you're
but
basically
the
talking
sperm
what's
will live
talking
for
about what's called the rhythm method, though, right?
3 days.
So this is called the rhythm method. It's
Yes,
been around for a
exactly.
long period of
Exactly.
time. There's a lot of apps that you can get on
Mhm.
phones. They're available on all platforms, where all you do is you push a button, period starts, and then it tracks it. And then as soon as it like develops a regular predictable pattern, then you know it's accurate, basically. And you essentially know when you need to use birth control and when it's fine not to use birth control. Now, here's something that's interesting. I don't know if you have one of these rings, Kareem. Do you have one of these Aura rings? Yeah.
No.
Okay. So Aura has generation 3 out, and the lights aren't on right now. But on the inside, I don't know if it'll focus. It probably won't focus because it's too small. But on the inside, there's sensors. This new one, they're saying will be able to predict periods, is what their material says
Mhm.
on the website. I'm guessing that for women, they're going to release some information in the future that the ring will be able to track their menstrual cycle 100% effectively based on temperature and all the stuff that you were talking about. So that might be coming out too. So that's another potential
Mhm.
option as well. But it's not perfect. Like, you still have to rely on accurate information. And if she's not going to give it to you accurately, or you're not doing it right, you could still screw up, right?
Yeah, if you're with a stable partner, like if you're like with one girl for long term, it's very easy. Like you can recognize it from the first or second month.
Mhm.
It's just 3 days. Like do not have sex with her in these 3 days, particular 3 days, and then after, like, do whatever
You
you
know what the
want.
problem is, though,
Like
is that's
it's
when
easy.
women are most horny. That's also when they're most promiscuous. It's also when they're most likely to cheat on their partner, is
Yeah,
when
you
they're
can use
ovulating.
condom. You can use condom. That will
That's
be
right.
okay in
Yeah.
these 3 days. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's much
that's usually
easy.
when you're going to have the best sex, honestly.
Yeah, of course, but don't play with your balls. Like your balls is your capital in
Yeah,
this
I
life.
wouldn't
Like
like
do not.
this poll is trending, saying that 20% of people would take that injection in their nutsack. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
I don't know
crazy.
if they're
Most of
brave
people
or if
are
they're
crazy.
stupid. Or
Most
maybe
of
they're
people
just
are
trolling me.
crazy.
Who
Like,
knows?
yeah, you know that people, like regular people in the countries that will allow it, like you can sell one of your testicle for over than $450,000.
Are you
But even if
serious?
they pay $450 million, I can't give it to you. No, that's my capital in life. That's what makes me man, on
Correct.
behavioral level, on psychological level, on muscle level, on every single level in my life. No, I'm not
Yeah.
playing with them. That's
Hey,
too
listen,
risky.
man. I'm with you. I'm not getting shots in my nutsack either. Guys, if you're Muslim and you live in the Arabic world, follow Coach Kareem. What's your YouTube channel again?
It's Red Pill Arabic.
Red Pill Arabic. So
Red Pill Arabic, yeah.
every couple of weeks, I got a guy that calls in from like a very devout Muslim country, and he's like, I want to get married and I'm a virgin. And it's like, your stuff in your book about this, that, and the other thing doesn't really resonate. Just go to Coach Kareem's channel and talk to him. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah, I'm
brother.
doing I'm doing 50%, by the way. Like, short announcement. I'm doing 50% discount in Ramadan because we have Ramadan season right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you. Wish you all the
Anytime,
best.
brother.
Keep it up.
See ya. All right. I got a bunch of guys here piling in the privates. Let's see what we got here. Any hormonal contraceptives increase prostate cancer? Not so. They haven't done long-term tests on humans yet on hormonal contraceptives for men. They've only done them on animals, and they're saying that they're 90% effective. The problem is that they're not perfect. So hormonal contraceptives for men will probably not be the end pill. It's probably going to be something that blocks the production of sperm via that enzyme tied into the vitamin A pathways. So that'll probably be the ticket. Let's see what we got here. With the studies in cancer and contraceptives. Yeah, there's cancer studies with female contraceptives on women. Some cancers can, I think the two biggest risks for women on hormonal birth controls, if I'm not mistaken, are tied into the progestin and the estrogen boost, which I think is mostly tied into breast cancer and blood clotting. There's some issues with some women. I mean, if you're not healthy, if you're overweight, if you've got issues, you're probably going to have that as a potential concern. But aside from that, they're pretty effective and safe as well, if they take them. And again, I don't think that you should rely on a woman to take a birth control pill. It should either be an IUD, a hormonal IUD, if she's going to be on something, tubal ligation, if she's had that done, or condoms pull out, or maybe this vitamin A blocking thing, becomes something. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see what JS has for us here. Let's add him to the stream. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Rich, how's it going?
Good, man. What do you got for us tonight?
So, just to stay on topic about the hormonal, like the contraception.
Yeah.
I'm 24 and not saying I will take that one because obviously there wasn't enough tests on it. And to be fair, I wouldn't be the first one to try that thing. But something like that kind of alternative is not so much something that will cut off right now. In a way that as a guy that's 24, I got a couple of guy friends that got girls knocked up, that got kids.
Mm-hmm.
And, I usually always wrap it up. But, I mean, you've been my age, sometimes you got a big night, couple of drinking with the girl and just forget it or you just don't put it. So I think like an extra barrier to add to all of that isn't something that would shut off automatically,
Well, there's still a ways away from you being able to go to a doctor and say, hey, can you prescribe this for me? Right? Like they're just moving from animal trials to human trials, but they've known for 80 years. The dude said that they've known for 80 years in that TED talk that vitamin A is required to be sterile. If you're an animal on the planet and you're vitamin A deficient, you're going to be sterile. That's for any animal. Same thing with humans, right? So
yeah,
once they figure out how to block that enzyme, and if it doesn't have any issues, downstream, like you still get vitamin A everywhere else in the body that you need it, that seems like a pretty good solution. But we're just kind of guessing right now. The only other one they have, which looks like is going to work, is that injection in your nutsack once a year, where they basically dam up the Vas Deferens, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
80% of the guys are not excited about that. So I think they're probably still going to be using condoms or being really good puller outers.
Oh yeah, for that for sure, I'm still gonna use that. But if they get the thing right, and I don't know exactly how they would do that, but I mean, if it's something that's working, and after maybe 15, 20 years of trial, it's okay. I mean, it wouldn't be the first one, but maybe
in your lifetime, guys, the younger guys, you will have a male birth control, probably not even hormonal, hopefully something that's as described, that you don't have to inject in your nutsack once a year, but we'll see. All right, guys, thanks. Let's see what else we got here in the privates. Vinicus JS, got Vinny, got a well-dressed Vinny. Let's see what Vinny's got for us. What's up, Vinny?
Hey, what's going on, Rich? Yeah,
let's play. Hang on a sec. Let's play a game. Accountant.
Finance. Close.
I knew it. I knew it was finance. You look like a finance guy. All right, what do you got for me tonight?
I've been watching your content for a while, Rich. Thanks for everything that you put out there. So man, I mean, basically I just wanted to ask you, what's the end game? Like who does it benefit? I mean, you talk about it a lot, right? But with this specific topic, who benefits from a male birth control pill? Or some sort of a male contraceptive in this fashion? Like what kind of men are going out there right now saying, hey, we need this right now really badly? Who's asking for this? Because I could see the other side with women that
argument
was asked for beforehand.
Yeah, so I mean, the arguments that are being made is that hormonal birth control on women is dangerous for some women, right? Cancers can come out of it. They can get blood clots. So there's that. The other problem too with hormonal birth control, which doesn't get talked about a lot, is when women go on hormonal birth control, their mate preferences change. Their mate preferences change basically from an alpha to a beta, right? So if you're with a woman and you met her when she's been on birth control or she had a hormonal IUD or something like that, her mate preference is more for a more humble, accommodating, kinder, like the plugged in beta sort of guy, right? And if she goes off the birth control while you're still with her, her mate preferences then change more towards the alpha, because that hormonal component changes the way that she's actually expressing attraction to the opposite sex. So there's that part of it too. The main part that I think guys should be concerned with is you can't trust anybody else, because once you ejaculate, all rights you have to any decision making whatsoever are completely out of your hands. They're all in her hands and the government. They get to make all choices on what happens to your sperm after it leaves your nutsack. So the argument is that if you can then control, like if you can take control of the birth, which is either right now for guys a condom or being a really good puller outer, okay? So if you can take, control of the birth, and, for obvious reasons, anybody that's had sex before with a condom knows that they're not their preference. They prefer, to raw dog it sort of thing. If they can take a birth control pill that's not hormonal, that stops the production of sperm, that has no downstream side effects, why wouldn't you take it? And then when you want to have kids, then you just stop taking it, you return back to normal, and you bang out a bunch of kids.
If it was that simple, right?
If it was that simple, but
right. Yeah,
that's essentially the promise that they're trying to make with the research on this enzyme that's supposed to block vitamin A in the production of sperm in your nutsack.
Yeah, because I could see in a way it makes me wonder. Okay, yeah. So in a way, it does make me wonder. Essentially, why would I voted for the technology not necessarily being something I would want to do in any way, but I think it does have a lot to do with what. So in a way, it almost sounds like if it does have that lower sex drive, right, and those sort of side effects, I think it was the gel. I think that was the one that
the gel. No, the gel is basically like a temporary vasectomy. They have to use local anesthetic on your nutsack. They inject through your nutsack into the vas deferens to basically clog the plumbing so the sperm can't leave. That clog, that dam, that gel lasts for about a year is what they're saying. So every year you'd have to go back in to get another shot in your nutsack. You'd be sore for a couple of days after that for sure. And then it's basically, designed to like plug up the plumbing, which then dissolves over time and it goes away. So if you want to restore fertility, then you just wait a year and you're good to go and you're not shooting blanks anymore.
So if what you're saying is accurate, Rich, then doesn't that mean that it would further hypergamy, because that would make women more promiscuous? Because if it's impacting the sex drive or allowing us to kind of choose when we want to be sexually active, then we might not be as sexually active, which might beta-tize males more, which would allow women, when they are on contraceptives, to be more promiscuous, to go with sort of the alpha, or someone who does have higher testosterone levels. Do you think that would be more of a divide?
No, I mean,
there's some sort of benefit to it.
I can tell you've watched a lot of YouTube, right? Like what YouTube channels are you watching now?
Your channel, Rolo, Fresh and Fit, for the most part. I try not to diversify too much because it.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with watching content on YouTube, but I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, are you actually becoming better, or are you just diving too far down the rabbit hole thinking about shit that doesn't matter? Because a lot of stuff that you talked about there doesn't really matter. Because I mean, all this really is about is, can you control the birth? And if you can take control of the birth in your hands, because women are going to be promiscuous, it doesn't matter. Like if women discover that there's a male contraceptive that is effective and guys have control of it, that means that they're going to stop taking hormonal birth control. They're going to insist that you be on this vitamin A enzyme blocker, let's say, is, the winner, which means that they're going to go through their natural cycles, which is actually good, for women. which means that when they're ovulating, they're going to mate preference or they're going to mate choose more alpha males, right? Which means they're going to reproduce with more alpha males, you know, for the most part. Who cares what they do, right?
Right.
Like, you know, worrying about society. And I see a lot of guys that watch a shit ton of YouTube and they're like, well, aren't they going to be more hypergamous? And it's like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Women are going to do what they're going to do. Know what they're all about. Know how they respond to men. Know what, you know, what they're attracted to. But don't worry too much about, oh, it's just going to magnify their hypergamy. Right. Who gives a shit? You know,
it makes it, yeah. It definitely.
If you can take control of the birth and you don't want to have kids right now, then you can go ahead and take a male birth control and do as you please and not worry about knocking anybody up, as long as you don't get a disease, like you don't do something stupid, right?
Yeah, I could see. I could see the different point of view. No, for
like,
sure.
Like this dude here in the chat is making a really good point. He's saying this doesn't stop STIs, and he's absolutely right. So I mean, if you're going to go around, you know, shooting loads everywhere because you're sterile, but then you end up with a bunch of STDs, like, okay, you know, now you've created a whole bunch of new problems, you know, for yourself. So this is something that you should probably use where women are exclusive to you.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a great point of view. I appreciate it, Rich.
All right, man. See you, brother. All right. Let's see what we got here. We got a bunch of people in a waiting area, and I got a super chat here from Johnny. I want to hear you comment on Will slapping Chris. Just rewind to the start of the show, dude. You missed it. Capia is 1.8 meters tall and 80 kilograms of per muscle. He's also snipped. Capia is not 1.8. That's 180 centimeters, and he's short. I promise you. Let's see what Val's got for us here. Hey, Val, how you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Hi,
there you go.
From Mexico. I wanted to ask you, I've been with my guy, we've been married for about 10 years. We just recently split because he wasn't acting as an alpha male, though he looks like one. He sort of like acts like one, but he just got too lazy in the relationship. And when I started working, he started like, he wasn't doing well in his business, so I had to help him out. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't paying me back, and that I sort of resented that. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, how can I help him become the alpha male that I need? without
you know how many times
I'm doing it.
Yeah, so you know how many times I've had women that have said, how do I get my beta ass husband, boyfriend, fiance to become an alpha? I want to be attracted to again without him knowing that I'm getting him to do it. And the answer is you can't.
So should
you simply can't. He's chosen that path, right? I mean, if a guy doesn't want to chase excellence, if he wants to be lazy, if he doesn't want to make money, if he lets himself go, then what are your options? You know, you're gonna have a conversation with him and say, look, you know, when we met you know, for example, like I've got standards, right? And if I was with a woman and she put on too much weight, I'd be like, look, when I signed up for this relationship, you're $120. Now you're 160 pounds. I don't like this weight. This is not something that I'm attracted to. That's just my preference. If that's what it is that you want to live life in, then I'm sure there's a guy that likes that. We can just part ways, right? That's like, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. I'm not going to say go to the gym, strap her on a treadmill or anything like that. That's just my standard because I look at women as beauty objects, as most guys do, right? So women look at guys as what? Success objects. And because they're hypergamous, you don't want to look across and down. It sounds like you're doing better than him right now. You make more money.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking across at this guy, right? Sometimes down, sometimes across. And that doesn't satisfy your hypergamy. You want to look across and up at a guy. You want to look at a guy that's successful, that can lead, that's strong, that's virtuous, that's competent, that can solve problems, right?
We already have 2 children together.
How old are they?
8 and 4.
Okay, so what are you going to do now? You're going to leave him?
We already split, but I mean, we're like friends now.
Well, it's always better for children. If you want to put the kids' interests first, it's always better for kids for them to have access to both parents as much as possible. So if you're staying together, that's better for the kids. If you decide to part ways, it's better for the kids to have access to both parents 50-50. The big mistake that most parents make when they get divorced is one parent's like, I'm more important, so I'm going to have the kids 80-90% of the time, and you can see them on every other weekend, right? And that's the worst thing that you can do for children. So parents out there, if you give a shit about your kids, make sure that you either stay together, raise them, or if you're going to split up, share custody 50-50. That's just the facts of life.
So there's no way I can help him get to your plan.
Well, he's got to want it, right? I mean, like, he's got to want it bad enough. And if he doesn't want it, and if he doesn't want to change, like, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink, right? If he doesn't see a reason to do it, if he doesn't see a reason to stay in the relationship, then he's just going to say, well, what do you want me to do? Like, what does he say when you raise your concerns to him right now?
Well, before splitting, we sort of like talked about it for a year almost. He's also like 16 years my senior, so he had a previous relationship that ended up in divorce. He had previous.
How old are you?
I'm 35.
And so he's 50 then.
Yeah.
And he's Mexican?
We're both Mexican, yeah.
And you've got a little bit of an English accent. Did you live in the UK?
I started in the UK, yeah.
Okay. And where do you live now?
In Mexico.
And what does Mexican law say for divorce?
Well, I mean, it's very ambiguous. I mean, we can share custody if we want. I mean, it's just really up to us, because there's this like friendly divorce that you can do. Yeah.
So why is he getting lazy? Like, why is he just not that guy anymore?
He was never very well off, but he always like behaved like an alpha. He was a boxer. He's muscular, very masculine, but he was always in debt because of I guess his previous family to pay for university and all that. And that well, I've only started working like 3 years ago, I guess, and I started doing well. And so he had a very bad business in which I had to help him out.
How old was he when you met him?
He was 42, I think.
Okay, so he was a retired boxer. Was he a successful boxer?
No, he did it for pleasure. I mean, that's not. He works in a metal work. He does
metal work. Okay, and
iron.
Has like. I mean, like, the thing that happens to guys as they get older, over 40, is they go through andropause and their testosterone levels drop. Like, is he getting fat? Is he getting lazy? Lack of drive, lack of motivation, not interested in sex? He
did say that he had cancer before. He said, hey, I had a previous marriage. I had cancer. I nearly died. I lived through all this. I just want to live for myself. And so,
okay, let's see what you're saying. Well, I mean, like, here's the thing, like, what does he say when you talk about the kids?
Well,
is he just saying take them and do whatever you want, or is he interested in being a parent, or where's his head at?
No, he's not. He's not really involved.
I mean, not really involved.
Usually, he would just like laying at home watching telly, and so it's not fun.
So he's become lazy. Did he go through the betatization process? Did you read my book, by the way?
I've only come across with you a few weeks ago.
Okay, so I talk about, so it could be a couple of things. So I talk about the betatization process, which is essentially men making continuous concessions to women. And this is going to be hard for you to understand because women don't even know that they do it, right? Like, it starts with something like, you move in together and then you start changing his habits and his behaviors. Don't brush your teeth over there. Brush it in the bathroom on the tile. It's going to get on the carpet. Put your white socks in the white hamper. Put your black socks in the black hamper. You can't eat like this. You can't drink like this. You have to do that and the other thing. This is
an alpha because he does all that kind of like manly stuff. Like,
so he does whatever he wants still.
Yeah.
Still.
Drinks a lot. Goes out with friends a lot, and.
But he's not interested in being a father. He's not interested in being married to you. He's not interested in intimacy. He's not interested in sex with you.
He's interested in intimacy. I mean, we never had a problem with sex. just like recently, maybe like 2-3 years ago, he started like not too much making an effort.
It could be low T. It could be low T for him, right? I mean, like testosterone is the male hormone that drives motivation, desire, success, risk taking, all that stuff.
He did have a vasectomy.
Okay, well, a vasectomy is not going to change his testosterone levels. It just stops sperm from leaving the nutsack, right? His testicles will still make testosterone. The thing is, though, as guys get older, the levels drop. And if he's deficient, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about are symptoms from the deficiency. So he might want to talk to a doctor about, checking his hormone panel, his cholesterol panel, everything to see if there's something wrong with the way that he's living his life, his lifestyle choices that are making him lazy, slow, fat, not interested in being a parent, not interested in being part of any of this right now, and just kind of like watching TV. That's what a lot of guys do when they get older. They'll come home, pop open the beer, hand down the pants, sit back, open up a bag of chips. It falls all over their shirt. They make a mess and they just sit there all night, right? And, that lack of motivation can be any number of things. But for a lot of guys, it just happens to be low T, right? And you're lucky because you're in Mexico. So testosterone is very cheap down there, right? Like you can go to a pharmacy, get it over the counter. It's peanuts. You don't even need a prescription.
Okay.
So have him look into his blood work. But again, it's a very difficult conversation for you to say, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you, but you're not the kind of guy that I want to be with. And you're not happy. I'm not happy. Right. The only ones that are going to suffer here is the 4 and 8-year-old, because they're not going to have a proper parental unit raising them correctly. And that's why a lot of the world is fucked today, is because, there's a lot of kids that are raised in a single parent household and they miss generally the masculine energy from their upbringing.
It feels like it.
It feels like it. Yeah. So that's potentially it. Right. So, I mean, like you can have the conversation with him, but is he going to do anything about it? Is the thing. Is he actually motivated? Right. Because a lot of guys, when you have this conversation, they're just like, oh, stop nagging me again, woman. I don't want to hear it. Right. But it's going to be difficult for you, Val, because you're how old now? You're 34, you said?
35.
You're 35. You've got 2 small children. And what are you going to do? You're going to try to find somebody to go and replace him?
Yes. And that's what I thought I could do. But then I came across with your channel and I thought it might be a bit more difficult than I thought. So I might as well just try to fix this first.
Well, if you can fix it, that would be best for the kids, probably, for sure. It's more than likely going to be better for you too, because a lot of women think that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and they go out on the dating market in their mid-30s with a couple of small children in tow, and they realize guys don't want anything to do with them. I mean, high-value alpha men don't want anything to do with a single mom with 2 kids in tow from a prior relationship. They just don't, because they have better options. They can date younger women without kids. Make sense?
Good.
Not the answer you want. Sorry, say that again. You broke up on my end. I couldn't hear you.
Yes. Should I just buy testosterone for him then?
No, he's got to want to do it. Well, you just can't buy it and ask him to start injecting this stuff. Like he has to get proper blood work done. So okay. I don't know. Maybe there's like a video you can find on YouTube or something that you can send them, like, male testosterone therapy, hormone therapy, and just be like, hey, or I was talking to my girlfriend and her husband was dealing with these symptoms and he had his blood work check. And like, have you had your blood work check? There could be something wrong with you. I love the kids. I know you love the kids. I want to do what's right for the kids, but we can't live like this. Like have a conversation with the dude, right?
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. All right, Val, see ya. That's a tough one, man. Because again, I mean, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Like, what are you going to do? Drink this water. Take this needle in your ass. You can't. The dude's got to want it, man. He's got to want to be better. And some guys, they just don't want it, man. They just, they're just like, fuck it, I'm done. I mean, it's one of the things that she mentioned. He just wants to live his life for himself. All right, let's see what we got here with Ryan. Ryan in the house. What's up, buddy? You're muted, by the way.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. What's shaking?
Not a whole lot, man. Thanks. I'm starting a new job soon. My new boss had told me that one of the VPs that I interviewed with is having doubts since I changed positions a couple times past couple years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we lost him.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry. And I'm trying to how should I handle this when I start the job? You know, make a good impression kind of thing. If somebody has doubts already, I hate walking into situations like that.
Your boss has doubts about what specifically? Your capacity?
No, it's not
to do
my
the job?
boss. It's one of his counterparts.
Okay, so your boss's counterpart has reservations about you?
Yes.
And what reservations has he expressed?
I've changed jobs like a few times in the past about 5 or 6 years.
Okay, well, that's not going to work out for you well. I mean, that's one of the things that I would look at as an employer when I was hiring people is like, okay, well, how many jobs have they had in the last 5 years? Like, okay, why can't they hold down a job, right? For me,
No, I was doing contract positions and stuff like that. You know, for
got it. But
stuff.
I mean, like, you know, from my position, the best employees that I've always hired, and anybody that's been an employer for a period of time that's done this, knows that you want to poach somebody that's been a long-term employee somewhere. So if I could choose between Ryan, the guy that's had, let's just say 6 jobs in 5 years, and Kevin, who's had 1 job in 5 years, and he's currently employed, and you're not working right now, you're between jobs, I'm picking Kevin all day long if the skill set's the same, right? Just because I want somebody that's going to stick around. So there's nothing that you can do about that. He probably recognizes that. So what are the other reservations that he's got?
That's really about it, honestly. That's
So you
the
just
only
have to
thing.
show. So I mean, you just have to show him that you're a better guy. You know, that you're willing to do what it takes to make it happen. And express that to him. I mean, I can tell when somebody's not interested in working for me. I can tell. Like if I'm sitting across the table and they're just like, yeah, I'm here for the job, and they're lackadaisical about it, and they just want to get a paycheck, just get a job, and that's it. I'm going to choose the guy that's like, give me a chance, right? Like, look, I know that this doesn't look good on my resume. I'm a solid worker. I know everything about you. I'm a big fan. Da 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 da. It's like, okay, I want to talk to that guy, right? So express strong interest in him.
I explained that to. They still hired me, obviously.
Okay.
So I expressed that to my new boss, and he understands that. You know.
Then I would go to his colleague and mention it to him.
He said probably not to say too much to him and just kind of show him.
Well, showing is always better than saying. But I mean, if you have an opportunity and you rub elbows at a social event, you're in the lunchroom or something like that. Hey, man, I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I'm not going to let you down. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling him that. So
now you got to show him that. That's it.
Exactly. Results speak more than words.
You got it, brother. Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got David in the house. David. All right, what do you got for me, buddy?
Hey, man, how are you?
Doing good.
Yeah, so to me, the idea of injecting something in my body that's going to affect my hormonal system, it's totally crazy.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, sex doesn't feel as good to inject something like that and mess with my system. It's I don't know how some people are considering it. Like the medical, like there are things that we don't even know that are sold by pharmaceutical companies that we don't even know they have an effect on us yet. You know,
the as a general rule, you want to F with your body as little as possible, right?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to well, let's use testosterone therapy as an example. A lot of these clinics in North America have this cookie cutter model. It's like prescribe 200 milligrams of testosterone cypionate, give them a aromatase inhibitor at this frequency every 3 days at this level, and then bring them back in 6 months. We'll test his blood. And it's like, you probably don't need the AI, right? The AI is just another chemical that you're introducing your body that the human body can generally just like normalize the levels of testosterone and estrogen and just sort of make it work if you let it. But And then they'll come at you with other stuff like DHEA and pregnenolone and progesterone and all this other stuff. And it's like, you want as little stuff as possible going in your body. That's hormonal, especially, right?
Yeah, and the body is so complex. You know, there are things
Super
that we don't know about our body yet. You know,
as long as you feed it right,
constantly
you rest it, and you train it properly, you don't sit around in a sedentary life, your body's very, very good at taking care of itself. Yeah. So did you have a question, or was this just sort of like an idea that you wanted to toss
No,
back
I
and
just
forth?
wanted to share my idea, and
Got it.
I did want to say though that thank you for your content.
You're welcome.
I've been going out with this girl, and she's been amazing. I think it's because I've been maintaining my frame like very, very well, you know.
Good.
And
Now-
I've learned that from this channel.
Now, the thing about long term when it comes to dealing with women is it's going to be harder than just spinning plates. Okay, I might just do like a dedicated show on this, but it's like a lot of guys can get good at dating women. The cream rises to the top, and then they get into a long term relationship, and then they don't know what they're in for. Right? It's like dealing with one woman on a long term basis in a relationship is going to be more work. Is going to be more risk. And generally speaking, the reward's lower because you don't have as much variety as you did before. So the point that I wanted to make is you can't relax. Okay. If
No,
anything,
100%.
you're probably going to have to game a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I don't have any other plates. But I do notice that she has a burning desire for me, and also like I got to a point where we got to a deal where she's exclusive to me, but I don't have to be exclusive to her.
Good.
But because of COVID, it's very hard to meet people, especially I don't go out much, and Tinder it's hard to find good girls on Tinder. I find, you know.
Well, it's a hookup app. I mean, what are you going to
Yeah.
get? Now, just make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on, because again, the betatization process is real, and you don't notice it. It's a very slow process, and it comes with one concession at a time. So just make sure you got the frame part right. I did a video, I think back in December, on the 7 spokes in the wheel, you know, when it comes to a high value guy. I talk about frame and being captivating and all the other stuff outside of just the standard basic shit that you normally hear like elsewhere, like looks, money, status, and that sort of stuff. Go check out that video. It's from, I think, last 2 weeks of December.
What's the name of it again?
It's on the Unplugged Alpha series. So just kind of go back a few months and you'll see it. It's called the 7 spokes of a high value man or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And I just want to say also that I'm considering joining your community. I have some questions about business, and I would like.
Where do you live?
I'm in Montreal now.
Okay. And if it's questions about business, I got that course coming out. So wait for the course. Get on my email list. So it's a good segue. So the email list is down over here, guys. You can get the free chapter for my book on red flags to avoid in women. And you'll also get notified there first on when I launch the course. So that's probably the best fit for you. The community.
But it's also because I want to meet guys, like-minded guys.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do in my environment, I find. But
I've got a few guys in Montreal, actually. The community is more for networking online and in real life with other guys. We got a solid group of guys, and you can find that on entrepreneursandcars.com/community. It's a couple grand to get in, but the paywall is there to make sure the caliber of the people in are top shelf.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you very much, Rich.
Thanks, man. Moff's going to be on later on Stereo, and we've got kind of like an entry community. It's called the 10%, and he can give you some more information about it if you go to stereo.com/Moff. He'll be on with Jaron earlier. Looks like we got time for 1 or 2 more. Again, the link is pinned at the top. It says join in and ask a question live. The survey is still trending at 80%, not taking a pin in the nutsack. Let's see who we got here in the private chat. GC, under what circumstances to work on the relationship with somebody that has a lot of green flags? All right, we have a green flag question. What's up, GC?
Hey, how are you, sir?
Good, man. So can you just clarify your question on the green flags?
So I've been with this girl for about a little bit over 2 years now. And in the beginning, she kind of met me when I was first starting my business. So didn't have a lot going on, but I think she understood that I had the potential. And
okay. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
So actually just turned 29, sorry. So eventually I got there. I've been pretty successful for the past couple of years now. And I started kind of getting into the whole red pill stuff and understanding more about kind of getting on frame and all these things. And she's kind of there, but there are times where she kind of pushes back a little bit. And I try to wonder sometimes, at what point is it worth to just let go and move on? If you see that she has all of the green flags that you kind of mentioned, pretty much all of them, you know, father's still there, low body count, et cetera, very, very feminine, all those things.
Okay, so I'm not sure I understand what the challenge is. So sorry, she's pushing you in what area, right? Like she's trying to make you better. She's trying to support you. She's trying to get you to be more successful. Like, what is the push for?
Well, she definitely does all those things. I think the one thing that she was not cool with, for example, was when I started bringing up fresh and fit and stuff like that. She was completely against the fact that men are allowed to be with multiple women and women are not, just because of the sense of like women tend to kind of fall in love with men versus, you know, men are we just you know, we just want to have sex, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
You know,
where do you live?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay. And you've been with her for how long again?
A little bit over 2 years. So
how old is
another thing, one more thing, we actually got married about 6 months ago or so, and we've been on and off, and she always came back to me, and she actually even returned the ring, etc. So she did all the things that showed me that she wasn't with me for my money.
Okay. And sorry, she's how old?
She is 27.
She's 27. Does she have any kids? Do you guys have any kids together?
No, no kids.
So your question is, how do I open up the relationship because I want to bang other chicks, basically, right?
Well, that would be one question, and then another would be, you know, at what point do I say, because I know obviously the one-nightists and all those things come into place, but also understanding, you know, when you actually do have a good woman, and there are some things that maybe you may need to give a little bit of wiggle room on.
Lofts in the comedy says LMAO. Yeah, bringing up fresh and fit women. Great idea, dude.
Idea.
So you know how I say guys like to complicate their life and justify why.
Yeah.
Right. Like women don't want to know how the game works. They just want to know that you're playing it and that they're participating in it. Okay. They don't want to know all the moving parts. It's like, are you a car guy?
Not necessarily. I mean, I have a Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio that I've had for a while, and girls.
Oh, dude, you're a car guy. Anybody with an Alfa is a car guy. Okay,
That's what I get told.
Okay, so let me break it down for you. A internal combustion engine is basically an air pump. There's valves, there's springs, there's camshafts, there's pistons, there's piston rings, there's tie rods. There's all these moving parts that work, you know, collectively to basically suck in air on one part, blow it up in the engine, and spit it out the back end at the tailpipe. You have that conversation with a woman, her eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
Okay. You talk to a guy, they're like, "Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about." You don't talk to women about red pill stuff. It just doesn't work. Look, I've done it. We've all done it. A lot of guys in the chat, I'm like, "Yeah, I've done it." They don't fucking listen. You know, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to know how things work. They just want to participate in the game. So, I mean, like the thing about dating other women when you want her to be exclusive to you, because I mean, obviously you don't want to poison the well because you're not a cuck, right? You're not like Will Smith who lets his son's friend August bang your wife, and then you get pissed off and have to go slap some guy on the stage. If you guys missed that part, go back to the start. You're not that guy, right? So you want her to be exclusive to you, but you want to exercise your options. You've watched some other channels that make a big deal about it. Here's the thing though, dude. Some women just don't go for it. They just won't. I would say about a third of women will just not have it. A third of women are totally fine with it. And then the other third are probably persuadable, right? So you got to figure out which category she falls in. I've seen a lot of guys pull this off that, you know, they'll just say, look, I love you. I don't want the relationship to change. I think you're great. I want to have children with you. I want to raise a family, but I need some strange from time to time. So I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm not going to bring I'm not going to do dates. There's going to be no woman showing up in the front door with a baby that's mine. I'm not going to go to a restaurant where your friends and family go and they're going to take a picture and say, oh, look, I see GC over here with this girl. What's he doing? Sort of thing to ruin your day. I'm not going to do any of those things. It's going to be very quiet. It's going to be no risk, to your health. I'm just going to have some fun from time to time. Some of those women are cool with that. Some of them are just going to be like, I'm not having it, right? And if she's not having it and you want to have it, you have a choice to make. You can either choose monogamy or you can choose to be non-monogamous and go outside the relationship. In some cases, you might have to leave the marriage. In some cases, you just might have to cheat and see if her love is real for you.
Sure. Do you think at that point, do you think that's possible for somebody? Do you think it's just because of my age that I'm so young and obviously I'm just like trying to fuck, pretty much anything?
No, dude, like any guy walking the earth, it doesn't matter if he's 28, 38, 48, 58. If he's healthy and he sees a hot chick, the same thought that's going through your mind is going through his mind.
Sure.
Right.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Men are designed to conquer and spread seed. Okay. We get, when we shoot a load, there's like something like 200 million sperm in there.
Yeah.
Women get 1 egg per month. That's it. Men and women are very different. And you're never, ever going to convince a woman that doesn't think otherwise to think otherwise. They just don't. They're just totally plugged in, conditioned by society to think that cheating is bad. And even if you say to them, well, your other boyfriend's cheated on you, right? Well, yeah. Well, like, what are you going to do? You're going to leave me and go find some other guys that can do the exact same thing to you? Like, are you stupid? They'll be like, yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right. So
sure,
is what it is. Right. You got to figure out where she's at exactly, if that's what it is that you want to do.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you,
See you, man. All right, we got Buzz. Is that Buzz Lightyear? What's up, Buzz?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good. We're going to make this the last question. Yeah. So what do you got for me tonight?
Sweet. I'd have a question for you about maybe what's the best way to go about meeting a girl for a long-term relationship? And by that, I mean, I can go about it online or I can do it in person. And I feel like there's pros and cons to both. But I want to hear your opinion on it, kind of where I want to invest my time.
The best ROI is online generally, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you think
can
so?
make the most. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you set up a proper dating, like, have you read my book?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, well, audiobook, but
okay. So there's a chapter in the book that tells you exactly what to do. I mean, if you follow that just makes your life so much easier. It's like, I talk about inbound marketing to my coaching clients when it comes to business, where you want your customers to come to you. Okay. If you have a proper online dating profile with good photography, you're good at getting the number and setting up the date, and you've got game, it's very easy to have options, right? Now,
right.
I would say don't just do that as you go about your day and you come across an attractive woman that you dig. Just walk up to her, make a cold approach,
Sure, yeah.
See if you can open and get her number and, get a date.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's putting in the repetitions, right? It's like doing the work and putting in the reps.
That's true. Okay, cool. So if I'm setting up my online profile, I mean, what would you recommend in terms of trying to get pictures, things like that? I think that's probably the weakest point that I have personally.
Professional photography. Yeah. Professional photography, exactly how I outlined in the chapter. So
yeah,
you need those pictures.
Hire someone to You
need the mystery shot. You need the group of friends shot. You need a good like headshot, like a good smile. You need one showing off, your physique. Like those would be the main ones, right? But not like douchey, like I'm standing in the mirror doing a mirror selfie. You know what a good example of good photography is? So if you go to Jared, can you drop your Instagram in the chat, bro? I'm going to give you Jaren's Instagram. It's basically the same photographs that he uses for his dating profile. So
I've heard you mention him before, so I never checked it out. So might as well.
Dude, you got to do the work. I mean, you're asking me for the advice. I provided the advice. You didn't check it out last time. I'm going to get you to check it out this time. So if you guys go and follow Jaren Scott on Instagram, you'll see a really good example of of the kind of photographs that you need that get women to properly respond to you. You can also see Chris Moffitt's as well.
Cool.
There's a reason why I tell these guys, that are watching right now, after the show, go watch or go and deal with Moff and Jaren on their show. It's kind of a companion show. There are a couple of guys from my community. They'll be on next Monday with me. They're good dudes, right? Like they know what they're doing. In fact, I would argue they're probably better at dealing with online game because they're dealing with it every single day, right? Like they're spinning a bunch of plates. I got a bunch of girls. I'm in an LTR. Like I don't deal with that shit anymore, right?
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
does it work? It absolutely works. I mean, they follow exactly what I do, what I have done and done in the past to an actual T. So
Right.
follow that and do it. But photography is probably the most important component to online game, right?
I'd have to agree.
You got to remember, like women have all these options. They could sit here and do this all day long. And it's like, there's endless supplies of dudes. So how do you stand out with photography? You have to have good photographs. She has to basically look at it and go, oh yeah, I want to be in that picture with that guy, with those people in that environment. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where the value comes in, right? I mean, if you're a high value guy, you have interesting friends, you're captivating, you do cool shit, you have some style, you got good photography. She's going to be doing this and she's going to be like, oh, there's Buzz Lightyear. I'm going to swipe right on that guy.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. And then,
All
so
right.
how would I check out their thing afterwards? Like, where is it, on YouTube or?
Stereo is the app. So if you just
Stereo,
get the
okay.
Stereo app and you search for Moff, MOFF,
Cool.
they're on right after my show and they do some
Sweet.
call-in stuff too. Okay.
Cool, man. I'll check it out.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. All right. We're almost done here. Who does this? Can I get Rich's book in Spanish? Yes, it has been translated. It'll be out in Spanish at some point in the future. I'm not going to give you a date, but it will be out soon. And I am working on a second book to follow up on it, which is going to be bomb. But the thing that I'm working on right now that I want you guys to pay attention to, probably in the next week or so, I am releasing my course on the mindset tied into being a successful entrepreneur. It's not a do A, B, C, D thing to be rich. It's going to be a get your head screwed on right so that you think like an entrepreneur, make decisions like an entrepreneur, and start making money and bank and putting a dent in the universe like an entrepreneur. See what I'm saying? Take a look at it. Get on the email list. You'll be notified there first. You'll get the early bird special. I'll probably offer like a 25% discount, and then it'll be offered at the full rate to the public. So if you're on the email list or in my community, you get in there early. That's it for tonight's show. Later on this week, Thursday, I've got a Playing to Win with Steve Sins, as I mentioned before. You're not going to want to miss that. I know you don't know his name, but again, he's just an average dude that was a bricklayer from the UK who could literally, if I were to call him, say, I want to go down and see the Titanic, he could make it happen. He can do cool shit. So you're going to want to check out that episode. He's a super smart guy, deserves way more views than what he gets. Should be a great conversation. And I got a bunch of other stuff that needs to come out this week that I got to publish. If you haven't checked out my clips channel, check it out. I got, that's it. We'll just wrap it up on that note. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.